Mr. Chris, how we doing? All right. This was CPI yesterday. It's candle right here, and for CPI, that's pretty lackluster. I think I mentioned that in the chat yesterday, and that's basically all I was able to see. I was not around the charts for the most part. The rest of the day, I did come back into Discord and see that y'all kind of dominated for the most part, right? That's all where Fred did the Casper trade ended up losing somewhere in there, and then Kyle had a good one, and then you had a really good one at the end of the day. You caught that huge move there, so well done. Um, and that was on the ES. Caught that move there. But yeah, I just the CPI. I had time to kind of look at it during the morning time, and then uh, afterwards, I would just never really got to the charts all that much. So it was really no trading for me yesterday. This was really the only time that I was going to be able to do anything, and then it just did not give me the type of news candle that I would have liked. However, I was really, I was, I did not trade anything because of basically how sad that CPI was. Again, pretty disappointing. Uh, However, it did produce a 5 minute ends trade. So depending on where your stop was, if you kind of go with anybody else hear me? Okay. Fred, that might be on your end, Bo. Uh, but we ended up getting a nice fair value gap right here. So after the ends trade, I'm sorry, after CPI news comes out, decent little candle right here. You see both liquidity pools have been taken. We start to push back up into here. We get a fair value gap. Price comes in, respects it. This candle might have scared me away from it. Um, and then I might have jumped back in after we break above here. Oh, nice. Maybe. Um, I wasn't really paying attention in hindsight. This is a nice fair value gap for the ends trade. If you had went ahead and took the trade, you put your stop, wherever. I don't know. I know if you had gotten in, right away, if you go by Casper rules, the stop would have been down here, which has been crazy, which is 41. You go to the end of that candle right there, then it's like 20. So I don't really know exactly I would have if I had have gotten into that trade, would I have kept my stop away from this large candle right here? I don't know. So, and then you could have, had structure that was right there that we could have hit. That would have been a nice touch. If for some reason, like I feel like the way I've been trading lately, um, the setup would have came after this, and then possibly this being the fair value gap that I would have played. Or, like I said, the breakout here, I'd have been in some slight drawdown, and then the push would have gotten my target right in here. So, something along those lines. I think that this little area posed one of the better options in the morning time. Um, so, but of course, hindsight is beautiful when you can sit back and go, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and just saying that. But so in the moment, this breakdown candle right here, you could have said that broke structure. I don't know. Maybe you go to a smaller time frame. I think the 5 minute looks stronger than the three right there. Yeah, the ends trade, Pat. It's a trade that you trade around news. Miss Carey perfected it while she was here. It comes from ICT, and basically you wait on a news candle, and then as the news candle comes in, you start playing certain fair value gaps that are left behind after the chaos of the news candle. So it's a little more subjective in the fact that, which direction you're trading, or um, it's not like you choose the first fair value gap or anything like that. It's just, you wait for the momentum to kind of die down, and then you catch the remnants of it. Um, so I'm sure this candle popped up and then down in the moment and then closed here. The next two candles come up. Um, and then start to push here. I'm sure. See, I wouldn't have counted that candle as like an order block candle at all. So, because it looks like that's the 50% of it, but I wouldn't have counted that unless you go to a 1 minute chart, which we've traded the um in straight on a 1 minute chart. That would have been a good one right there. But I don't know if that would have been too close to the news. But definitely a good little pop there. And it doesn't really give you anything on the way back down. And this is the only one until this guy right here. So yeah, that looks pretty solid too. Call this a rubber band or return to mean trade. Yeah, for sure. It's a good name. Did we lose Kyle for a second? Said, where is the ends trade? I just now saw that. Um, oh, well, I guess I was answering that anyways. There you go. Thank you, Fred. There's your ends model right there, Pat. This is from, again, ICT. And it's a pretty, wow. Well, definitely screwed that up. Let's just tap the button. There we go. Hard to read, but I'm sure you'll be able to read it a little bit better on your own screen. Um, and this one says we'll focus on buys only when we believe the weekly candle is likely to draw the premium array. There's a lot of language in there that you might not really get, but the gist of it is you basically wait for news to take out sell side or buy side, and then you find a fair value gap that's going in the direction of the bias, and then on an ES on the ES you look for 5 points, 5.25 points. the 2.5 covers commissions. Yeah, ICT on YouTube would be awesome too. But I mean, those two trades right there, both of them are in the same direction. Those are the only two fair value gaps from the news candle. I mean, besides the large one, but I don't ever play that one. And you just play the remnants of it. And this is on the NASDAQ. So on the NASDAQ, you're looking for about, 20 points on it. So this would have been two decent little trades. And then over here, this is where we were talking about a later trade after the news settled on a 5-minute chart. This was a fair value gap right in here. That price dipped back down into and then took off to that structure. So, yeah, a couple of decent little trades right there that you could have taken at news. And then this is market open. So, yeah, probably would not have taken that trade at market open like that. May have taken the breakout of it. Yeah, may have taken the breakout of it. And caught 10 to, yeah, about 20 points right in here to that structure. So that would have been a couple of good trades in the morning, at market open, right after market open, using the CPI news right in there. The fact that we just didn't keep breaking down. I don't know. I know we talked about in the morning time that if it was dollar strong, we had all this potential. Let me go to a 4 hour. All these potential. So we started breaking down. Yeah. We had some potential areas that we thought price would get down to. And then all of a sudden price just started breaking out yesterday, breaking up. So didn't really get down into here once we started rejecting this area. I mean, what's that on my old chart? I X'd out of it. Probably lost it. Didn't we have a mean threshold down here somewhere, or was it on this guy? I didn't transfer that line over or one of those over. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been on this one. I don't remember. Either way, we had some spots down in here that we were talking about price possibly getting to. But then, like I said yesterday, I put in the chat. I was like, man, that's a pretty lackluster type of CPI candle. It just was not impressive at all. And we do have news today. I have not pulled up Forex Factory. Yeah, we do have a bunch of news at 8:30 today. PPI, core retail, unemployment, all of that. And then right after that, you got the ECB. Oh, we got monetary policy from the euro this morning too. Hmm. So the dollar could get hammered. Looks pretty bearish. Tapped that gap and then immediately rejected it. That was yesterday. CPI, because it's the hourly chart. So there's your CPI right there. We came up, got into here just above that liquidity, and then just blah. Nothing all day. That would have been boring to trade. Look at that. Sorry about that. Yeah, boring for the dollar yesterday, just straight sideways after the CPI news. Within that range still. Looking pretty heavy, I think. Monday lows in play. We'll take out that wick there. Situated at a pretty good spot on this down candle here. Yeah. So that's gonna be a pretty important spot. Break down through here, we probably see the low and lower. All right, we got liquidity building up underneath here. So go back to a 4 hour so I can get a better view of that. Wow, this is where we're at right now. Sell side still below here. Let's go to daily. Yeah, it's still looking pretty heavy. Looks like overall, if we even went out to a weekly or a monthly, it looks like the dollar is going to get a little bit weaker. Got some liquidity here. I like this sell side line. We're right on where we opened the year at. So a weaker dollar should mean stronger market. And go here. No, that definitely doesn't match up. None of that looks good. Kind of looks like it was channeling right there, but it doesn't really see it. These results like PPI is positive and retail sell negative. It would give you a lot of choppiness, looking like a heart rate. How? But it also depends on like the weight of whichever one. Like PPI sometimes, retail sales and unemployment claims and things like that are going to give it like a little bit of a jolt. The unemployment claims can give it a decent little pop, especially if it's a super negative number. Those numbers are missed to the bad side, then the dollar is going to really get hammered. But PPI standalone, um, I wouldn't. I mean, I would. To me, CPI is almost as good a candle as any kind of non-farm candle or whatever, or monetary policy, like when the Fed rate comes out. However, this one being pretty nothing, um, PPI, could be something similar. So let's go back and look at um, what PPI has done in the past. So August 11th, core PPI month over month beat. Let's jump into nope. So Friday was the PPI last time, and it was good for. I mean, see, those numbers were good for the dollar, and yet we had a huge bearish day. Retail sales were good. Unemployment claims on the 10th, day before, were not good. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on a 4 hour chart. Thought I was on the daily. Well, even then, yeah, still bad. Yeah, bearish on that entire day, yet those numbers were good. So that didn't tell me anything there, bro. However, I mean, I don't play the news when the news happens, right? Like I just don't play that candle. I don't try and predict which direction that candle's going to go before it happens. I may have done that 3 times. um, but I don't play that candle because I don't know what the news is going to do, and even with the numbers that are coming out, like you just don't know. So sometimes you can get a decent idea by looking back. Most of the time, you know, it may react in the completely opposite way. Yeah. Yeah. So just wait for the news to come out and see which direction the market's going to go. And then, and let me back that up and say, I've never played the candle before the candle was given. You know what I mean? I've never tried to predict the move like before it happened. I've always waited for the move to start, and then I may jump in on that candle, if it's going in the direction that I was pretty confident in, and there's a clear um a clear place where I think price could get to, and it fits all of my bias or whatever, then yeah, I could jump in as it's happening. But again, you're still taking a chance because the whipsaw action within a news candle is it's pretty rough. So it's one of those things you have to just kind of, if you do it, it needs to be a quick in and out. You don't need to try and hold it for an entire move. You need to hold it for a certain amount of points and then get out. If let's say the entire move's 100 points and you jumped in after it's already moved 20, hold it for about 20 and then get out. And you may miss the next 60 points, but you got your 20 out of it. And look at it in the sense of how you would normally have traded the instrument. If all you're shooting for normally is 20 points on the NASDAQ or 5 to 10 points on the ES, as soon as you get that amount of points, get out. You were able to snag those points faster with news. And that's really the difference. But I recommend doing that with like maybe a micro account. Well, I mean, not a micro, but the micros, as opposed to dude, I was on the Euro USD. Man, I guess I haven't woken up good this morning. Let's go back to August 11th and just see what happened to the dollar. So if the dollar, yeah, that would have been positive. That's stupid. My bad, guys. August 11th, right there. It's a small bullish candle. If CPI came before it, if it did, CPI was on August 10th and it was neutral. This was the CPI candle on August 10th. So you can see that day was a lot larger than what we got yesterday. And then the PPI news the day after was pretty small, but in the direction of positivity, in the direction of the news that it gave, at least. So sorry about that. I probably confused the crap out of all those just then. So yes, on August 11th. There you go. This is CPI candle, 1st of August. See how much bigger that candle was than what we got yesterday. That's double the size. That's 4-hour candle too. So initial reaction was a pop up and then a slam down the rest of the day. Whereas this was very indecisive. And then we just ended up climbing the rest of the day. But the next day, PPI, August 11th, was right here. PPI news candle. Nothing. But that was after a large CPI day. This was a very smooth CPI day. So I wouldn't, again, just wait till it happens. My recommendation, wait till it happens. And then trade the candle that's produced. You know, the ends trade is based on once the candle happens, you trade the remnants of the moment. You trade the momentum or the volatility afterwards, the lower volatility afterwards. So we've broken above that structure right here. See if we hold. Coming back to the median. Going to take out this liquidity. That's a pretty good bit of liquidity right here, because this one took out that. So if we get here, we might have a pretty easy push to the median. And I'm not the median, the Monday high. And some liquidity situated above it. Let's take that out. Yeah. All this right here. And this is on the ES right now. So drop a buy side line on that just to have a reference point. See how quickly we can get to there. I really do like this to continue up. Like that pattern that we gave us. London high, London. Let's look at see what we had right here. There you go. Just broke through that London high. Slam through it. Asia low here, London low. Dead on. And then an immediate rejection. This would have been a good little trade right here. 15-minute, go to a 5-minute chart. Good pattern. Great pattern. Easy trade. God. Yep. Yeah, that's a great setup. Nice consolidation right through here. Slam down into stops. What we do, we come back, touch the London lows. Immediate rejection, fair value gap left. We keep breaking above liquidity here. We come back into the fair value gap, immediate rejection, go. Small fair value gap right there. Price comes back into it. We've pushed ever since. So yeah, good momentum off of that. Didn't wake up in time for that. That was a good one. Right here is about the time I started looking at the charts too. Just pull back into it. Good move. No, it's Eastern time. So no, I wasn't up at this. I was up. I just wasn't looking at the charts. So PPI news, yeah, we're crushing. What was this? This was monetary policy. No, there was no news behind this. It was a weird camera. Camera. God, guys, I am so sorry. That's a weird candle this morning. Struggling to speak this morning. Yeah, like a non-event camera. Oh, I just said it again. What's up with that candle? Exactly. It's a candle. You should put that in all caps. This was 6:20. So 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. The only news I see is PBOC cuts banks reserve requirement ratio by 25 BPS. That was only 10 minutes ago, though. Um, Italy's possible withdrawal from China's belt. It's 42 minutes ago. I'm not really saying anything on. Lagarde was still speaking. Lagarde was speaking at 5:45. I'm not showing that. That's tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just a weird candle. But if you look at where it's at, all right, let's just focus on where it's at. London highs, built up liquidity here. Look where it went and got structure and liquidity right there. Random candle at 6:20 in the morning as price is moving away. Like those are to me the signs that this is more of an algorithmic type of move. Like price went and got liquidity, closed. So probably popped up, then we come down, and then we come back up and we close. So this is kind of how that candle would have looked. And that's the reason why the argument for an algorithmic type of state in the market is it's just this. There you go. Who is trading that, and why are they trading that? And when I say that, I mean that in the sense of what bank or what large amount of money is being moved when there's no news driver, when there's just and it's before any market is open. The London market is basically closed, not closed, but this is like a downtime. This is lunch for the London market during this time, right? The London market really has already happened. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, because if you're trailing your stops here, then they're gone. And if you started to short here, then it was popped and you're gone. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the reason why the argument for the market being on an algorithm, it's moving to take liquidity when it wants liquidity and seeks liquidity. Like, this is just a crazy candle. There's nothing there for it. And this being on the ES, how many points? Basically 5 points. So it's a good pop on the ES. Considering this entire move up to that point was only 5 or 6 points. Yeah. This is gonna be a nice little pullback into here. We should get a bounce around this area. She might be able to squeeze 5 more points out of this to the buy side liquidity. I think that's where it's headed. Same thing on the NQ as well. This is that fair value gap. This is the Casper fair value gap from the other day. Keep reacting to it. London highs have not been taken out here on the NQ where they were on the ES. It's probably going to be a pretty good little pullback into this candle. Take out the London highs. I'm going to take this away. Definitely not as clean as the ES. ES pretty clean move right here. What's the Dow at? Dow is taking out these highs too. So the NQ is the one that's lagging, the weaker. We've already made it to the Monday high, right? No, median. This would be my buy side. I'm gonna leave it alone. Don't have a close above that on these candles before it dropped yesterday. Might be a good place to look. See how price reacts to that one more time. Pretty bullish right in here, though. See how it reacts right here at this structure. We're in that fair value gap. I don't want to see another bigger candle. If you do see another candle like this, then it's going to be kind of another waiting game. If I were taking a trade right here, I would be taking it right now or off that, and then I would have a tighter stop. Because for one, before market open, I would want to be right or wrong right away. I don't want to like lose a lot in this area. So I have a pretty tight stop. It's a good place to bounce. Because if price ended up moving back down towards the 21 EMA, maybe even midnight, then I would look for some structure again to continue. Because I mean, I do believe here and here are the where we're headed. Some structure on is perfect. With this candle, I think I would want to see it engulf. Something like this, right? Like we're at that structure. We've kind of had a little pullback into it. We've created a decent little candle here. I'd want that candle right there to look like this one almost. And then I would trust it more on the way up. So it gives me some type of indecision. Depending on the type of indecisive candle, then I would expect a little bit further of a pullback, maybe something else, and then a go. And then if we break down, close below here, then definitely coming down. Um, but as far as a snap, as far as like what I think for today, I don't know if it's bullish or bearish. Again, we've got a bunch of news coming out at 8:30. And I would expect maybe even less movement than this today, as far as like the type of news event there is. I mean, you know, I think there's only been one time where I think the PPI in the past like 6 months where the PPI was like a crazy number, or not necessarily a crazy number, but get a crazy reaction. So yeah, it's doing what I would have liked to have done, but it might be too early. And the afternoon has been producing the big move. So like yesterday and the day before, it was what 12, 1 o'clock when a pretty large move, it was almost like a purge move, was happening. So see what this candle does. We'll take a little paper trade this morning. Back into the mean. No tick down. There we go. Getting bad numbers up here compared to what it is down there. And then the snap. That was it. And go. Take it easy, Chris. Have a good one, man. See you next week. I think I would end it right there. I didn't like the spread right in that point, but if I'm trading that for real, I'll probably just go ahead and take that trade on this pullback and then go. Got somewhat the candle that I wanted right there. So yeah, this is the next destination. We pulled perfectly back into this structure right here. And then, we're getting that immediate rejection off of it like we've been getting on these pullbacks, and then go, we go back down here. We got a little pullback and then a rejection. So that would have been pretty solid. And it's a lot cleaner than, again, the NQ. So maybe the ES at a certain time today. Yeah, really. I mean, it's been just giving it to you, right? We get down in through the Asia lows here, through the daily, immediate rejection here. This looks way better on the ES than it does here, though. So then we could pop in right into that structure. I mean, crazy, right? Take out lows, and snap back up, and then destination there. So it looks like it's the mean threshold of that order block. Rejection down, fair value gap. Push back up, order blocks holding. Come back down, fair value gap holds again. Might have ticked just below that. Rejection up. We got a small fair value gap there. Look where that wick goes. And that was the crazy candle. So finally break out above it right there. Come up here into the midnight, pull back, bounce. See what the midnight does right here. Should take out London highs and go buy side. Already taking out the highs there. Yeah. 15 to 20 minutes. So I do. Um, yeah, I would definitely do that, especially if you use this to like if you're only using this to chart and go back and look, then it's no big deal. But yeah, it's only like $4 or $5 a month for real time data. And then if you do that with like the pro account, I think I'm pro. I don't think I'm pro plus. I think I'm I think I'm just pro. Uh Save and reload. Why did it just reload? I wanted to go home. Whatever. There's a good pop there. Yeah, head to buy side. I'm pretty sure I'm pro. And then yeah, I pay for the data. So pro is like what, $15 or something like that. And then it's another four or so for just the data. And it's like this CME data. Like you don't have to buy like a crazy amount of data. At one time I used to have like 16 extra dollars or 20 extra dollars or something like that, and like all this crazy data. And then I realized I didn't need any of it except for like just like the CME like futures. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull it up online. No, they don't call it the same stuff anymore. Essential Plus and Premium. So I'm on Essential. Where am I? Yeah. Yeah. I'm on Essential. Keeps ads off of it, things like that. And then let me go down to data should be somewhere. Can't remember. Market data. CME Group, E-mini included. That's what it is. $5 a month now. Futures, CME Group, E-mini included. It's CME, CBOT, all that stuff. And it's $5 a month. Yeah. Definitely is what it is. Yeah, you get all the exchanges. It's kind of like their big one, special data offers. I'll pull this over. This is what it is. This is the data that we get. That's what we use right there. So yeah, $5 a month. I don't use any of this. Never really seen the need for it because the SPY and the Qs are real time already. But yeah, this is what I get CME Group futures. So this guy. Almost there. Let's see. That's the ES. So did the NASDAQ pull away? Almost to the London highs. Getting a little slight rejection right there. Nah. Yeah, the London highs. Still think buy side gets taken out. I think I'm gonna call it right here, guys. Gotta get these kiddos up, get going. Gonna try to do that, Fred. You do the same, my man. And y'all be safe today. I will see y'all next week. Have a good rest of the day.